expensive now for people to request a review. I'm not falling for that twice. How do I take those off? All right, guys. So, shout out, by the way, to anyone who's curious, I have not reviewed Superman yet. Give me a minute here, and I'm going to do a review first for a film that was sponsored by one DirtyOldSocks. He dropped 10 subs, which is the offer I make to people. If you drop 10 subs, I will review whatever movie you like. And he was the first one who took me up on this offer. He said, I'd like you to watch Human Centipede 2. And he was like, seriously, it's great. I was like, all right, I saw the first one. I thought it was mediocre because the whole movie is just like, ooh, man, we're going to take 3 people and connect them lip to asshole. Are you ready? I guess so. What's going to happen in this movie? Ta-da. Ta-da. Look at us. We did it. And this second movie, it picks up actually a pretty interesting plot point. This second movie's concept is, what if a creepy guy who is just like, fucking incel, etc., what if this guy saw the actual movie of Human Centipede and was like, yeah. And that's what this film is about, dude. There's so much I have to say about this movie. I took a ton of notes. We're going to go through this entire film, basically. If I don't make eye contact with the chat or with the camera, it's because I'm looking at my notes and I want to fucking get through this. Though I will say, out the gate, believe it or not, dude, I thought that it was surprisingly clever because of a couple things. That concept I told you, but also the film is executed in black and white. The problem, dude, the script is terrible. The script is really fucking bad. And I just hold on. Yeah, no spoilers, guys. The script is terrible, dude. I can see why the lead guy was casted. He's got these bulging eyes. He's really creepy, but his character is just like fucking, like, he sucks. Like, I'm supposed to believe that this guy is smart enough to be a mastermind, and like the first thing his mom says to him is, she's like, you shit yourself again, Junior. You're covered in shit. It's like, wow, dude. So he's like a mastermind science who shits himself, huh? I thought that the characters in this movie, the dialogue, and just overall how the story is written, terrible. This flows like someone trying to bowl rocks up a hill, dude. It's like, wow. Look at that, dude. You're sliding a bunch of shit across the screen. Another nice thing I can say about this movie, even though, like, I kind of said it already, but the black and white kind of elevates it, but I shifted how I felt about the black and white halfway through, because I was like, oh my God, this motherfucker made this movie in black and white because he wants it to be like Eraserhead. This shit right here is Eraserhead that is brain damage, dude. Someone took that Eraserhead and fucking hit his face against the ground, dude. And now he's mentally handicapped, we'll say. And like I said it kind of already, the lead performance in this movie, like, it tries It tries so hard to make you like be like, wow, isn't this gross? And it's like, yeah, it is. So what? And like it wasn't fun to watch. Like that was my biggest gripe with it. It's supposed to be funny, and it's not. And like there was like early on in the movie before it got too gnarly, there was some stuff that made me laugh, like where they heavily hint that like the protagonist, his dad is a pedophile because that's like the fucking song and the beat of the drum that this movie sings for some fucking reason. And it cuts to like his dad after they say that, and it's a picture of an old man like it's like I okay, that's supposed to be funny, but like I don't care. It leads to like because they're trying to make it this graphic horror film, it doesn't work because this shit is a cartoon. The whole time this guy is kidnapping people, keeping them hostage, never feeding them food, but keeping them all in this one place. It makes no fucking sense. Makes no sense. And it does like stuff that's like unnecessary to like just like a fucking stupid degree. Like multiple times they give you a close up of this eye bulging creep who we're following, like close ups of him jerking off. It's like, wow, dude, you fucking you showed me that guy's dick. Great. Now what? Movie's like, I'll tell you what. How about a scene of this guy killing his mom, or him talking to a therapist who is like an obvious pedophile, and all that therapist wants to do is what? Watch this bulging eye weird guy feed a centipede, which is like, oh, get it? We're deep. It's in black and white, and we're watching a centipede kill little bugs. It's not. It's not deep at all. This is a movie made for people who hate their mom, dude. Straight up, dude. The scenes are so poorly connected in this. It feels like you're watching like almost like vignettes in a horrible way. And it's because it's trying to be like Eraserhead, and it's completely failing because Eraserhead is like totally seamless in what it achieves and is incredibly complex, you know. This any Oedipus Rex type of bullshit this movie's trying to say is in black and white and covered in diarrhea and blood. And the movie becomes repetitive, dude. It becomes really repetitive where you see him gathering up people, you know, and he starts getting phone calls, you know, every time. Oh, hey, you know, we know you wanted to audition for Human Centipede sequel. Ha ha ha, aren't we so meta? And the first 45 minutes of this movie, you know what it builds up to? It builds up to this bulging-eyed character who hardly can speak, by the way. Who can hardly speak. There's nothing, like, even if you're going to make a bad character, you know, like a bad person, think of Robert Pattinson's character in something like Good Time. That guy is a cockroach. Everyone he interacts with is worse off than before he met them. But the problem is, in this movie, it's not interesting to watch. Watching Robert Pattinson's character be a criminal is fascinating. And it's written in a really interesting way. This movie, the first 45 minutes, as I was about to say, you know what it builds up to? Lazily manufacturing shooting a pedophile in the penis. Wow, movie. You're saving one life at a time, movie. Thanks for that. And from there, I mean, there's multiple moments of like, you know, name dropping Tarantino. There's at least 3 or 4 scenes of the protagonist watching the first movie, which it walks that fine line of done well, it could have been brilliant. The way they do it here is bullshit, and it's just filling time. The self-awareness starts to become very cringe almost about like an hour into it, like the second time they reference Tarantino, and then they manufacture this bullshit so crazily that this bulging eye guy, yeah, he's sent to pick up the star of the first movie. And all this shit, like, there's an explanation for it at the end, but it's not anything good. And I'll tell you what it is. But it becomes so self-indulgent and just, like, cringy with its callbacks to the first one that it almost starts to feel like a bad Terminator sequel. You know, where it's like, oh, gotta connect it as much as possible, even in the stupidest possible way. But after about an hour in, you know, they really are getting to like the scene that the cover is bragging about, dude. Human Centipede 2. And the problem is this shit cannot be scary because it's not even on the cusp of reality. So like it can look gross and all this other shit, but who the fuck cares? None of this is believable. Like, it's just like, oh, look at me. I'm the doctor with my dick out. I'm a sew people's lips to assholes. So they start doing this like repetitive, cartoonish, mindless, gory violence of, you know, of this guy connecting all these victims together. And at one point, when it's really at its peak of making no sense, it's giving the vibe of like, look at this. Isn't this like American Psycho? No, it's not. It's like American Dipshit with his dick out. And it gets worse. Like an hour in, the guy is stapling lips and assholes and duct taping them, and there's a dozen people. Some of them die. One of them is a pregnant woman for no reason. And that pregnant woman will be relevant soon. But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, the whole aesthetic of like the stapled and the duct tape human centipede, I actually like that aesthetic, but it doesn't matter because in the context of this movie, it's fucking stupid. This protagonist hardly speaks. You know, there's scenes where he's like just making noises and it's like, this is too unclever. It is not hitting whatsoever. And then, you know, like they really push it with like the violence. There's a scene of a guy getting his teeth knocked out with a hammer that's very well done. There's you know, the type of shit that you'd expect. Someone's tongue gets ripped out. There's a cool sequence. Probably the most effective part of the movie was when the person at the top of the centipede refuses to eat. So he jams a tube down their mouth and like pours dog food in it. And then like it leads to like one of the worst films in cinematic history where like, you know, there's like people start farting even though they haven't been eating for who knows how long in there. And then he fucking injects everybody with laxatives, so everybody starts violently shitting. And then eventually, like, you know, someone breaks off and there's 2 centipedes. And it's, you know, to sum this all up, the badly shot movie is bad. I mean, all of this shit that I've described, it's horribly edited together. It has zero flow. And even when they do the thing where they're like, here, look at this, we did it. It's like, all right, you did it. 2 human centipedes. So what? And then it leads to, I shit you not, randomly someone a part of the human centipede has the strength to grab this guy's fucking centipede pet, throw it on the ground, shove a fucking funnel in this guy's ass, and then throw a centipede inside. And then what happens after the pregnant woman runs out and gives birth in the car? I think she steps on the baby. I don't know. It was horribly shot. And it was so mindless and aggressive. And what happens when she gets away and like he's squirming? I don't even remember what the fuck happens to this protagonist. What happens, dude? It cuts back to the very beginning, and he's in his job of being a parking attendant the whole time, and this was all in his imagination. That's why the whole time it was unbelievable. Again, Edwards, or not Edward Scissorhands, this is Eraserhead Brain Damaged Edition. If you think this is good, you've never seen Eraserhead. And if you like both of them, well, then I'm sorry that you fucking hate your mom, dude. Because if you love this movie, you hate your mom, dude. This is the most fuck you mom movie I've ever seen in my life. Fuck this movie. Total waste of time. Thank you for sponsoring it, Dirty Old Socks. Let's do it again sometime. Don't recommend, like 0. Like, I can't give it a 0. I'll give it a 2. A 2 out of 10. It's a fuck you, though, dude. This is a fuck you movie. Fuck this movie, dude. Fuck the guy who made it. He's a sick fuck. And rest in peace, David Lynch. Shocker. Hey, man, at first I thought it was actually... I thought that it was actually going to be kind of cool, to be honest. When it first started, I was like, oh, they're doing an Eraserhead thing? And I was like, no, fuck this. Never mind. Any questions about that? Was that a good review? Did you guys like that? I thought I did a decent breakdown of that movie. Any other questions? Oh, shit, it didn't pin my fucking thing. If anyone has any other questions, please. Was it too meta? Yes. It gets meta to the point of being cringy. Were there any exposed dicks in the movie? There's one guy. Oh, I forgot something. Yeah. I can't believe I skipped this part, dude. There's a lot of exposed dicks. There's close-ups of this bulging fat guy's penis while he's jerking off. And at one point, for no fucking reason, he wraps barbed wire around his dick, and then you see him rape a woman. For no reason, dude. I thought it was in poor taste. Like that, is there female nudity in the movie? Constantly. There's tons of